You slip into life on Earth, and would you look at that? You're a human, and you don't know it yet, but you're not like everyone else. You've been born with the innate ability of incredible willpower. While that'll mostly be a problem for your parents when they try to feed you vegetables when you're a toddler, it'll also be the reason why, one day, you'll become a Green Lantern. Protector of the universe, wielder of one of the most powerful weapons ever created, and servant to an ancient race of immortals who view your species as barely evolved primates. One day when you're in your early 20s, on the opposite side of the universe, a Green Lantern dies. The green ring he's wearing floats off his finger and flies across the universe looking for its replacement. That's you. This ring was created by the Guardians of the Universe billions of years ago, a super sophisticated race of aliens who have been keeping the Green Lanterns going ever since. And this is how they recruit new members. The ring does all the work, and because of that incredible willpower of yours, it's chosen you as the next Green Lantern to join the ranks. To meet the selection criteria, you need two things. You must have the ability to overcome great fear and possess tremendous willpower. Green Lanterns are selected from every living being across the entirety of creation. That means you're not just brave by Earth standards, but one of the bravest beings in the whole universe. Sometimes people can train to become part of the Green Lanterns, but the vast majority are conscripted by the rings themselves. You have no choice in the matter. Within minutes of receiving your ring, you're transported to Oa, the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps. Too bad if you had plans for drinks after work. Oa is one of the oldest planets in the galaxy, and it is almost completely barren, except for the city of the Guardians. This is a massive metropolis, with buildings stretching miles into the sky, and it's where you'll spend a lot of your life from now on. The atmosphere requires ring-generated protection for your human physiology, as its composition of noble gases and high concentrations of ionized particles would dissolve your lungs in moments. You're immediately drafted into training, whether you like it or not. You are under the thumb of an instructor called Kilowog, a massive alien made mostly of muscle who will drill you within an inch of your life for the next few months. In fact, Green Lantern training is so brutal that most new recruits give up their ring and head home. Before you get a chance to create anything with your new shiny ring, you are forced to do hikes around the galaxy on no food, brutal manual labor like carrying entire buildings across deserts, and spending entire nights studying complex computational science that will power your ring. For you, it feels brutal, but for the Guardians of the Universe, the bosses of the Green Lantern Corps, it makes perfect sense. Everything here is fueled by willpower, even the central battery of Oa, a massive construct built billions of years ago by the Guardians of the Universe. The central power battery is the source of all power for the Green Lanterns. Anytime you fly, or create a construct, or carry massive weight, that's all thanks to the central power battery. Considering the immense importance of the battery, it almost becomes a religious object for the Green Lanterns and the Guardians of the Universe, who will do almost anything to protect it. That's why willpower is so important in the training, and why the training is designed to break you. If you don't have the willpower to pass Kilowog's drills, how will you have the willpower to protect the battery? Finally, you get through training, and you are almost ready to get out there as an official Green Lantern for real. However, before you do that, you gotta get to grips with the ring around your finger, which may as well be the most sophisticated piece of technology in the universe. Each Green Lantern ring contains quantum computational capabilities exceeding Earth's combined computing power billions of times over. The rings are directly connected to the emotional electromagnetic spectrum, specifically to the green wavelength of willpower, one of the 7 fundamental forces discovered by the Guardians that predate the universe itself. Training teaches you that emotions aren't just something you feel, but are actual energy sources. Green corresponds to willpower, and you start to wonder what the other colors might mean. While Kilowog and the Guardians are secretive about the existence of other Lantern cores, they definitely tell you about the Sinestro Corps. These guys are just like you, only instead of being fueled by willpower, they're powered by fear. Their yellow fear is the exact opposite of your green willpower, meaning you're both each other's biggest weakness. These guys are the arch enemy of the Green Lantern Corps, and are also their biggest threat. If a Green Lantern feels fear when they're out saving the world, then their powers fail, making them completely helpless. That means the Sinestro Corps, led by a guy called Sinestro, are the biggest danger to you, and you're taught to be wary of them from the very beginning. After some time, you get the hang of your ring and realize just how powerful it is. You can use your willpower to project almost anything into existence right in front of you. Usually, new recruits summon things like giant Gatling guns as an offensive weapon, but more experienced Green Lanterns usually rely on precise geometric shapes that can act as both offense and defense. The ring can also save these configurations to its memory, offer itself as a mini encyclopedia of the universe, and analyze any new species the Lanterns come across. Most importantly of all, the ring stores the 10 most important laws that govern the Green Lantern Corps. These laws, stored in a massive book called the Book of Oa, can only be read by the Green Lanterns, and it governs everything you do. The first law establishes your primary duty, the protection of life and liberty within your assigned sector. This was created following the Sinestro Corps War, a massive conflict with the Sinestro Corps in the recent past. This law was controversially amended to permit lethal force against Yellow Ring Bearers, the first such modification in millions of years. The second law demands unquestioning obedience to Guardian orders. Some don't like how that makes this a bit of a dictatorship, but it's hard to deny that the Green Lanterns have kind of thrived under the guidance of the Guardians. So we'll let them get away with that. The third law prohibits interference with a planet's culture or political structure, regardless of your personal moral judgments. A restriction that human lanterns find particularly challenging. If a planet wants to turn into a bloody dictatorship, you're not allowed to intervene. The fourth law requires you to operate within local legal frameworks, unless you're given express permission from the Guardians. That kind of makes it seem like the whole don't interfere with the laws of other planets thing might be a little bit more flexible than it first appears, but I digress. The fifth law demands restraint. No physical action against any being until they have proven threats against life. With the amount of power Green Lantern has, this is probably the most violated law by far. The sixth law forbids using core resources for personal gain. A rule that also extends to using ring energy for trivial matters. The energy monitoring subroutines in your ring record every construct you create, flagging patterns that suggest personal use for review by the Alpha Lanterns. So no, you can't build intergalactic roller coasters for profit. Law 7 mandates respect for fellow Corps members and the Guardians, despite the vastly different physiologies and cultures among their incredibly diverse ranks. The eighth law reinforces restraint of force, requiring you to exhaust all reasonable alternatives before escalating to violence, which again, feels a little redundant. They probably could have worked this one into number 4. Anyways, the ninth law is about your prioritization protocol. That means that the greatest danger in your sector must receive your immediate attention, regardless of any personal attachments or ongoing missions. And finally, the 10th law, upholding the honor of the Corps. This catch-all law has been used to discipline Lanterns for everything from public intoxication to questioning Guardian wisdom. The Corps Integrity Division maintains watchful surveillance for any action that might tarnish the Corps' reputation across the 3,600 sectors. After learning all the laws, passing training, and mastering the use of your ring, you finally get to meet your new bosses. The Guardians of the Universe, evolving from one of the oldest races in creation, the Malthusians. These 3.5-foot tall blue immortals engineered themselves to be emotionless, believing passion leads to chaos. They live for millions of years and have no time for rebels. You obey or else. They assign you to your sector, wish you good luck, and pair you up with another Green Lantern as a partner. However, before you get started, they issue a stern warning. If you mess up, they'll send the Alpha Lanterns after you. You're told later that the Alpha Lanterns are Green Lanterns who have fused themselves with the central power battery itself, becoming part living being, part robot.